SpaceX Starship's design error, inspiration for Blue Origin vs. SpaceX, Arianespace Vega VV19. In this video, we bring you a host of headlines from the space industry related to SpaceX Starship, which went through a bit of a review in its overall design, and Elon Musk had something to say about it. SpaceX's core rivals in the private space industry are either trying to bite the head of SpaceX off in sheer bitterness, sorry Blue Origin. At the same time, another seems to mind its own business and unfold the progress in developing its remarkable engine, Vega VV19. Hit like and watch this video to the end as we offer our perspective on the current events in the space industry. Today we are expanding our scope a little beyond SpaceX, although that's inevitable as SpaceX is way ahead of the pack in its own right as the space industry leader. What design error was observed in the body of the Starship? Yikes, how bad is the flaw, and what effects could it have if not rectified? On the other hand, we'll take a peek at NASA's Inspiration 4 mission preparations and see how far the project is going. Blue Origin is getting a little on the nerves of SpaceX supporters in the industry and maybe the US government, with their more recent moves stepping on the toes of NASA. This video will also shed light on the fantastic Vega VV19 rocket developed by Arianespace. Welcome to your favorite channel, Unlimited SpaceX. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more exciting news about SpaceX projects and Elon Musk's many controversies. We'll shuffle the deck a little bit here and start with discussing the seeming abhorrence of SpaceX, which Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin has against NASA. You might feel like they're overstepping their bounds, suing a government body for what seems to be their own decision. The situation appears complicated from a distance if you're not initially privy to the cause of the current legal scuffle between NASA and Blue Origin. Let us quickly touch down on the bone of contention here. 2021 was the year in which Blue Origin rose to prominence as one of the many competitors of SpaceX in the US space industry. The private companies tend to possess some element of technology that makes them potential partners for NASA. NASA has never been shy of paying private companies to do something for them. In the last 2 years, SpaceX has repeatedly served to help NASA overcome some of its more technical capabilities to the point of building the Crew Dragon spaceship for the upcoming Inspiration 4 moon mission. Well, that is one of our points for discourse in this video, and when the time is right, we'll provide more information about the Inspiration 4 mission. For now, let's stick with our current narrative and see where it gets us. There was a particular contract that NASA put out, and among the top 3 companies that were prospecting to secure the project were inevitably SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Dynetics. SpaceX won the bidding round with a very competitive price that seemed to over more value at lesser price over its rivals. It ultimately infuriated Blue Origin that they were not given a chance to deploy their HLS moonlander for NASA's moon landing project that would see Americans once again land on the moon after decades away from the white rock. SpaceX has always proven to be quite innovative in their dealings, and the cost of production, which they efficiently managed to cut down with their cost-cutting scavenging system on whatever is left over of their previous launches. Their techs are imbued with such durability that they are reusable. It's a redeeming quality that has earned the respect of their private clients, including NASA, the face of the US government's space exploration plan. SpaceX bid a total of $3 billion for that contract, while Blue Origin came up with over $6 billion. Let's not even talk about the outrageous amount that Dynetics proposed for the project. The 3 companies were in pole position to receive funding from NASA to enable the agency to use their most prominent rocket technology to facilitate NASA's 2024 return to space. Before we even consider why NASA awarded the contract to SpaceX purely based on the credibility of their Starship, the timing clashed with the time when NASA was enduring a hard time with budget constraints, but needed an effective landing system for their astronauts. The funding would aid the development of the rocket to get it ready in time for the moon mission. Both Dynetics and Blue Origin were left out of the deal. The Artemis mission is NASA's most significant project in over a decade, and we understand why it meant a lot to Blue Origin. Unlike SpaceX, Blue Origin was generally not as open with their progress in developing their technology. If it was just for PR, SpaceX has a way of showing its potential clients its strengths and weaknesses. Blue Origin's secrecy, while it may protect their intellectual property, doesn't speak well for them compared to SpaceX. Technically, SpaceX has a more assertive stance in front of NASA than Blue Origin, having worked with them multiple times since 2018. SpaceX offered a much lower price than Blue Origin and is also a notable advantage. The track record of SpaceX concerning their boosters, the Crew Dragon spaceship, and Falcon 9's consistent flight success make them any client's top pick. The evidence of their proficiency was highlighted by their flight successes into low orbit, and back while still maintaining lower costs than the likes of Blue Origin. Who would you have chosen if you were in NASA's shoes? Right, we would select SpaceX as well, without batting an eyelid. We hate to sound condescending, but the level of competition in this industry requires evident results instead of mere potential promises. Well, Blue Origin feels NASA's judgment was impaired, and they decided who they funded. They've probably been pushing for NASA to reveal the details of their decision-making process, and they probably thought they deserved it more. Maybe they needed it more to develop their Glenn rocket, which was still pretty much a ground-based prototype, as opposed to SpaceX's Starship vehicle, which is expected to begin orbital test launches in a matter of weeks. Virtually, what is delaying the flight test is the issues with regulations. Once that's cleared, SpaceX will begin testing the Starship's flight potential. It is expected to be ready for NASA's human landing mission in 2024. Blue Origin is still battling NASA in court, despite an earlier ruling that announced them as victors over Blue Origin. We wish Blue Origin good luck in their endeavor. They have other important things to focus on. Other opportunities will arise, but SpaceX will continue to drift right out of their sight if they continue to do this. Elon Musk has made one key observation as a flaw in the bodily design of the Starship, and it comes at a good time, since the FAA has not cleared the Starship for a maiden launch. Elon Musk noted that the forward flaps at the head of the Starship are not functioning correctly. The moving sections seem okay, but the stationary part could negate that as it tilts the nose a bit backward, and it was to be rectified in a newer version of the Starship. It shows that work is incredibly on towards the first orbital test of the Starship. On the other hand, the Crew Dragon spaceship constructed by SpaceX for NASA's scientific research mission, Inspiration 4, has seen its 4-term astronauts going through the intense adaptive workout, and they've been learning the controls of the Dragon ship with flight simulations. The sleeping bags are being tested out, right down to the camp-style food they'd consume. They are very much geared up for the mission, which could very well take place later this year. We're excited to see what they find on their scientific journey into orbit. In other news, the Arianespace Vega VV19 rocket is undergoing comprehensive redevelopment with excellent features that are designed to protect its contents from intense radiation and, to some extent, reduce microgravity. We like what we see and think when the prototype is finally ready to undergo accurate orbital tests, maybe they could turn out to be genuine contenders alongside SpaceX in the future. Let us know what you think about these developments in the space industry. What else are you looking forward to seeing among the space industry's top private companies?